This is it. You've made it. The final episode in our mini rice series. We've explored rice in ways most people overlook. We broke down the science, the technique, the soul behind the grain. But we're not ending with a recipe. We're actually ending with a method that forces you to slow down, listen, taste, and respond. This is risotto. Probably the best risotto you'll ever have. So to start off, we're gonna use arborio. That's our grain of choice. Gotta have arborio. It's a short, plump, and packed with starch. A millipectin to be specific. This starch is the reason risotto gets its signature creaminess without needing cream. So risotto isn't just a dish; it's a dialogue between rice and liquid, between the heat and the patience, between your senses and your ingredients. Now we're gonna do the exact opposite of what I've been teaching you in the past videos. We're gonna make sure that this rice has more than enough liquid, and we're gonna agitate it. And speaking of liquid, if you have chicken stock that you made at home, please use this for the risotto. Whether it's chicken stock or veggie stock, whichever way you decide to go, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you have your own stock, that you make your own stock, because this dish is a special dish, and the patience and the time that it takes to make, I mean, we got to do it justice, right? We got to have good quality ingredients. However, if you're in a pinch, if you get the process down, chicken broth from the store will help. As long as you get the process, you'll be all right. Okay, so make sure that the stock is hot next to the pan that you're going to cook in. And to that pan, we're going to turn on the heat, melt some butter. Once we get the butter nicely melted, we're not going to let this brown, so it's pretty much medium heat. We're going to add about, I don't know, this is about a cup of rice. Now remember, risotto, you don't have to measure the way we've been measuring in the past, because we're going to be adding liquid as we go. So once we toast the rice, we're not going to toast it to get color. So just to put that out there, we're just pretty much letting the fat meet the aromatics, and then whatever toastiness the rice offers to the fat, that works. But we got to make sure that the ends of the rice start to become translucent. By this point, hopefully you have achieved nice light color. Then we're gonna add onion, and we're gonna add garlic. I didn't have shallots, so I used white onion. Which is pretty much the point of this video. I just want you to learn the process. Don't get too hung up on the ingredients. Although the stock, I highly recommend. Anyways, so we're gonna move that around. Once they become translucent, nice and soft, then we're gonna deglaze with wine. A nice dry white wine would do here. You don't want to do a red wine, although I mean technically you could, but the color is gonna be weird. So you want to do that and let the rice absorb this liquid. The real game begins one ladle of hot stock at a time, right? So we're gonna add a ladle and a half of stock, and we're gonna stir this around. Now remember, in our other videos, you gotta leave the rice alone, but with risotto, you wanna stir it around. You wanna agitate the rice. You want that starch to come out. You want it to emulsify with the liquid. You're gonna keep doing that for as long as you need to. Now, we're repeating this process until we reach the consistency that we want. Although Italians, obviously, the creators of risotto, say that we have to reach al dente. It's gonna have a little bite to it. It's not gonna be mushy. It's gonna still have that texture, that bite. So we're gonna keep agitating. As you can see here, the liquid begins to thicken, the starches begin to leach out, and that's what we're looking for here. So we're stirring constantly but intentionally. You watch the liquid disappear, and just before the rice screams for help, you answer with another ladle. That's the process. That's what we're doing here, and that's what I want you to learn. So right before it reaches al dente, what I'm gonna do here, that's gonna be a little bit different from your traditional risotto. I'm gonna add half an onion, a bunch of cilantro onto a blender, the juice of one lime, and squeeze that out there. And then I'm also gonna add just a little bit of water to help the blending process. And we're gonna add that to the risotto once it reaches the consistency that we want. So once it's there, pour it onto the risotto, and we'll let it cook for another 45 seconds to a minute, because this nice bright green will start turning brown, so we don't want that. So after about 45 seconds to a minute, I'm gonna go ahead and add cotija. Now, if you noticed, I didn't season the mix that we blended. I didn't season the rice or the onion or the garlic, because we're gonna add a very sort of salty cheese, a Mexican cheese, to continue with this Mexican inspired theme that we have going on here with this risotto. So I'm gonna mix that cheese around, and also I'm gonna add about another knob of butter, just to kind of help things continue to emulsify. Amylopectin, which is present in starchy rices like arborio, are natural emulsifiers. They're natural stabilizers. So with the butter, it just gives you that extra creaminess, and it gives you that signature thing that risotto has, that when you plate it, it wants to like kind of just fall down on the plate. And there you have it, a great risotto, Mexican inspired. You don't have to do that, but this one's Mexican inspired, violating the rules that we had for all the other rice videos that I made. So now you have two sides of the coin. You understand rice a little bit more, and I hope you enjoyed this mini series. For all of you that tuned in, that interacted with me, thank you so much for this. I enjoyed this, and if there's something you would want me to break down, let me know in the comments. Now look at this beautiful risotto. Look at that.